Smoothly played by Sophie Smith.
Each batter with the 1 pitch and 1 out.
Ball 1 to off the plate, 3-0. Just missed, ball 4. Sierra Harrison's wondering where that pitch was. No ABS challenges in softball just yet. Edwards in the box. To get out ahead of Edwards. Plate appearances. Fisted to short, taken by Optigrove. 2 down. It does move Daniel into scoring position. Here's Alex Franklin.
And that outfield, it looks dry, but it is really slick out there. So Optigrove just slips on that grass, not able to make the play, but really aggressive base running.
Infield hit for Franklin. But it's 1-0.
They have a lot of speed, but she's also given, she's taught the game to her girls, and she has them read it themselves. So not
as generous, but she'll take it. To be fair, Daniel never did slow down.
Not hit as hard or not up the middle as much. That's a much riskier play. But I think she had a legitimate shot of getting her. She has to try and make that out. It's the 3rd out of the inning.
There is the 3rd out of the inning. Edwards goes down swinging, but LSU on just 1 hit without the ball getting off the dirt has a 1-0 lead. The top of the first for LSU, but the aggressive base running of Sierra Daniel put them in front over former Mizzou assistant coach Chris Malvo, now co-head coach at Auburn. Hitting coach for one of a couple of teams that's starving for the World Series as well.
Before they went to Auburn and before their Alabama series, they had a non-SEC weekend where they just needed that confidence. They needed to learn how to win again.
Heavner comes back from 3-1 down to strike out Waits. One away. Not something SEC viewers are used to talking about in April. Abrascato takes a ball. Ordinarily, we about record, but for Missouri, that's the situation heading into the back half of the regular season at 20-18. Not going to be an easy task for Mizzou.
Well, we talk about it constantly, right? Every weekend, or super regional every single weekend.
Abrascato waves and misses. Back-to-back Ks for Heavner to start the first. Here's Sydney Forrester. Got the corner for a strike. Starting lineup for Missouri. All hitting in the top 5. Waits the leadoff hitter, and then Forrester. Heavner's 0-2. Just missed. These strikeouts on the season already for Heavner. Two-two. Heavner strikes out the side in order. What a first inning for LSU. Last 5 in a row, it is more reasonable to look ahead, try to do a little bit of that math, see what it would take.
Well, Missouri has had a lot of momentum. It's more of like, we got to take this game by game. We got to take it pitch by pitch. Now, in her mind, she's thinking about it, and she's counting down.
Louisville. And she looks at strike 3. Sierra Harris.
She came back, got the out. She came back, first out of the next inning. She's been so mentally tough out there in the circle. It's been really...
Four-pitch walk. Popped up on the first base side. Hay called off by Smith. 2 out.
Hosting a regional, which really just gives you such an advantage as a team. They had a big win against OU last weekend.
Up and in on Ciela Pickett. 2 balls and no strikes. And so there are some similarities in that Well, freshmen are getting to know the game at the collegiate to succeed.
Well, and while you're not having to teach them the college game, you are having to work a transfer to come into your program is just as much work.
2-out walk issued to Pickett. LSU softball will still be here for the next 2 games as scheduled. There's strike one. You line up the 2 freshmen back-to-back in the 8-9 spots, Pickett and Johnson. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cool, they're new to the program. Sometimes it's easy to forget that, but she said the other day, two and 2. Johnson spoils it. Hit the ball out of the infield, but good base running gave him a 1-0 lead. Season payoff. Outside corner, strike 3 call. 3 punch-outs for Harrison in the first 2 innings. It's a 1-0 LSU lead with the television.
There's a TV. Somebody won a TV.
Abby Carr tries to hold up her swing, could not. Yep. And notoriously, Mizzou softball fans full of potential muggers. They're always, I mean, everybody, right? Carr fouls it away. 1 and 2. Local kid. Had some struggles for stretches of last.
Just really tough to come back that sophomore year.
Hey, Jace is upstairs.
These balls out of the zone, swing at pitches they wouldn't normally swing at.
Strike 3 called. 5 Missouri hitters. Pretty simple summary of the outs for Huebner. Strike 1 on Sophie Smith. Smith off her hands. Kylie Edwards gets the first defensive chance for LSU and puts away the inning. 6 up, 6 down for Huebner. We'll chat with her head coach, Beth.
Bryce has done a great job. I think really with the mental aspect of the game with these hitters, just sometimes it doesn't go your way, and he's really tried to instill that in the
hitter. Grounded out on the very first pitch of the game to second base back in the first inning. Stuck her elbow out a little bit, and I think she's going to be laced into center field. Langer is there, and 1 down in the 3rd inning. So Sierra was then smoked on the 1-2, but too close to Kaylee Langer, who covers a lot of ground in center field for Missouri.
He covers so much ground out there. She's so much fun to watch as an outfielder.
Feels like she's been patrolling center field here after all the success converting Brooke Wilmus and Alex Honnold there. Off the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Back to the circle, speared nicely by Harrison. 2 down. There's hardly such a thing as a routine ground ball to shortstop. Kylie Edwards down the right field line toward the pole. It is foul. 6 homers in the last 24 games, 3 in the last 2. Updegrove quickly to first, unloaded that one in one motion, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Harrison against the top of the... And Updegrove has a little bit of strikeout in her swing. 20. One ball, 2 strikes. Up high, 2-2. Huebner sitting on 81 strikeouts for the year. In 93 and a 3rd innings. It's a little bit surprising watching the first 2 innings of this one that she... Outside corner, strike 3 called. Strikeout 5 of the first 6. Maybe you get a little bonus. Tell you what, Ashley, if that Alabama-Texas series anticipated in the preseason, with every passing weekend. Pitches down 1-2. Mizzou by just 1 run. And the other loss was by 3.
You have to win the one-run games. And that is something that's so hard in the SEC. All the games are so close. There's not a lot of run rule to do.
Langer waves and misses. 7 strikeouts for Huebner in the first 8 batters. Cahalan to short. Diving play by Kylie Edwards, but Cahalan beats it. Missouri has a base runner for the first time with 2 outs. Addie waits at the top of the lineup for Mizzou. Adjustments. First journalism school.
Just telling people the facts.
Facts only.
Fact.
3 balls, no strikes on Waits. The first time tonight. And walks Waits on 5. So Jaden Huebner nearly flawless for the first 4.
Approach the second time through the lineup.
So Flau'Jae Abrascato, the batter.
And
this game
Sundays, she's been getting a lot of innings for Mizzou. She throws the ball really hard.
Abrascato with 1 swing.
That 9 spot, the 7, 8, 9 spots, you don't get a batter off, and you have to be just locked in the entire time.
Abrascato with a 1-2. Lifted to left center. To the track, Lassiter with a catch. Missouri puts 2 on. Huebner strands him there. Abrascato just off the end of the bat.
You know, 2 against Auburn. She had 1 against SIUE, and then she had another one against Alabama that was just phenomenal. She
had the no-hitter against SIUE a couple of midweeks ago. Fouled away by the cleanup hitter Alex Franklin by Riley Edwards at short for LSU. 2-1 on Franklin. She'll be fouled. Mentioned the SIUE game. Missouri coming off against Illinois in the middle of March. Wave and a miss, count full. In particular, the SIUE in Springfield in the southwest part of the state. To short for Updegrove. 1 away. And Larissa Anderson said that's intentional. Obviously, there are some benefits. But
not only are you trying to grow the game, but you're also, I mean, selfishly for Larissa Anderson, you don't know if there's a player in that area that if you hammered and that's what their dream school all of a sudden. So you're growing the game. You're getting those mid-majors, some exposure, getting the
0-2 on Tori Edwards. Obviously, it's a difference, it does, but it's reminiscent of Patty Gasso going during the non-conference and playing games against mid-major opponents all over the country, in particular responsibility, the opportunity at the very least.
When you talk about commitment, and it is a commitment because the SEC season is that time and energy, knowing that your team has to rest, knowing that they have to get the proper nutrition, they have schoolwork in the middle of the week. It's all of those things that you're really taking.
Of course, this is a series that starts early on Thursday. So really, Missouri didn't get a chance to have a 1-1 on Lorenz.
Well, and when you have the momentum and you're playing like LSU.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Edwards on the move. Abrascato a little late to recognize it, and Edwards snags the extra 6.
Gets the stolen base.
Bounce the deep short. Updegrove on the money to beat Lorenz. 2 down. Macy Badger on the batter. Generous strike. Hard hit past Harrison into center field. Edwards waved home. Langer's throw is cut off. 2-0 LSU. A pair of 2-out hits, a pair of... First hit for either team that has touched the outfield ground. On 3 Sierra Harrison walks. And on each of their hits. 1-1 to Pickett. Strike 3 called. Missouri will take him any way they can get him. My goodness. LSU adds another. We're halfway home. 2-0. Heart of the Missouri order due up. Strike 1 to Sydney Forrester in the number 3. Huebner has punched out 7. She has walked 1 and allowed an infield single back in February. Her career high is 13. Prior high was half a dozen, like 7 strikeouts of the Sooners in 12 and 2/3. Forrester pops it way up. Bergeron was working on these before the game, but called off by Edwards for the catch. In this 4th inning, and here's Hay. Hard hit through the box. Base hit for Abby Hay, and Missouri has a 1-out base runner.
About the pitch coming and just does her swing and does a great job taking that ball right back up the middle.
You know, the other thing that stands out to me about ball is 1 strike on Carr.
Abby Carr has been so impressive to watch as a freshman. You talk about poise from Heavner out there in the pitcher, and she's just been so impressive to watch.
Strike 3 called. Here's Sophie Smith. Good play by Bergeron to get over for that. Heavner keeps it moving as well. 2-0. Down for ball 4. 2nd inning in a row, Mizzou has had 2 runners on. And in fact, funny enough, despite having a
Tigers in some key situations.
3 multi-hit games in their last 5. Performance Tuesday at Missouri State. 1-2. Walk to Smith in the inning. 1-2 pitch. Jaden Heavner has struck out 8 already. Up high, ball 2. 2-2. Kaylee Langer would be next. Up the Grove, swings and misses. Heavner with a big strikeout and a little glance over toward that Missouri dugout. Pickett's of Tennessee added to that list. To your point, too, about growing the game, everybody understands. I'd love to do that.
And where do I do that? Where can I go do that? But, you know, they've done such a great job, you know, Jenny Finch, her era, and I think that if you can just continue to use those iconic players to go and give those golden tickets, it's going to continue to grow that.
1-2 to Riley Johnson. Into left for Claire Cahalan. 1 down in the LSU 5th. And the top of the order coming up for a 3rd time against Harrison, and a sharp line out to Langer in center. Cameron outside the box. 1-2. Her head, because you'd think she's not going to stick the elbow out again. She thought about it that time. 2-2.
A little bit of game.
Not as
It gets a little iffy out there. You never know.
Foul ball. Penny gives, so they would have felt more secure. Lassiter, well hit. Not well enough. Forrester's there. 2 gone. Time. 2:30 on SEC Network proper on Saturday. The spring to her right to make the play. Butted beautifully toward 3rd, but it'll just roll foul.
Let's see if hopefully it can go foul.
0-2. Through the left side, a base hit. Even though the bunt didn't work, Daniel finds her way on anyway. Kylie Edwards now. First pitch lifted on the left side. Up to Grove to finish the inning. 1 hit, 1 left. Home 5th is next. Softly to third, taken by Avery Hodge for the out. Hodge playing at third as a defensive change. Cahalan shows bunt. It's ball one. Heavner is one shot, the 30th. Though in that game, she gave up 4 runs, in part because she walked 5. One and two on Cahalan, who had Heavner is 1-2. To second base. A little bit awkward for Daniel, but taken cleanly. 2 down. Top of the order. Addie Waits takes the ball. She has struck out.
But as a freshman, it's even harder. And she's done a great job. She struggled a little bit in SEC play, but she has had moments of Larissa Anderson earlier this week. She mentioned she really wants to see her come on strong this weekend.
We talk about that a lot, obviously, with freshmen.
The best player on their team. So sometimes you have these kids coming in who are so good, they haven't seen a lot of failure.
Waits towards short, past the dive of Edwards. Thought about stretching it for second, but cut off well by Lassiter. 2-out single for Waits. Fortunate thing for Missouri is 4 out of the Tigers' 5 base runners have reached with 2 outs in the inning.
They haven't.
One hitter has reached with 1 out, 4 with 2 outs. Abrascato hammers it through the right side. Waits stops at second. Back-to-back Mizzou singles to left center that died on the warning track. Sydney Forrester takes ball 1.
One of adjusting at the plate.
Forrester struck out looking. Cleanup hitter Abby Hay is up. There's 2-1. Heavner's 2-2. Forrester waves and misses. 10 strikeouts for Heavner. 6 stranded for Missouri in the last 3. Arena, but that postseason success has mostly dried up for the Tigers. Now an 8-year absence that time. Not to say it's easy to make it to the World Series. Knocked down at third. Awkward play. And Alex Franklin beats it out.
Not necessarily the premier conference that it is that you're looking at in 2026. And you can see how good and how hard the league, really hard to do.
Tori Edwards at the plate. Addie Kohler is in to play right field in place of Sydney Forrester, who made the until Forrester's spot comes up again.
Larissa Anderson has done this late in games where she's brought in Addie Kohler to play right field defensively. She's a much better defensive outfielder. What a great series LSU had against.
2 runs in 2 1/3. Ripped into center. Langer on the move for the catch. Hard luck for Charlotte Lorenz as that ball. Off the end of the bat, playable for Waits, 2 gone. Avery Hodge took over in the middle innings on defense. Loop down the left field line, foul ball. This season the bat has been slower starting. Roll over to second, Smith on the move. Hodge nearly got there, but a nice play by Sophie Smith charging to retire Hodge.
To review, the call on the field is changed. LSU will retain their top.
So Hodge is safe, she gets an infield single. 0 for her last 17 before that one. So in that, it's just misses to Johnson, 2-0 in the game.
In position, she's gotten the big strikeout, she's gotten the big out when she needed it. They've done all the little things correctly.
Opposite field base hit for Johnson. 2 on, 2 out now for LSU. They've also defended really well. Haven't been a lot of defensive opportunities.
Even, you know, the tricky ones on the infield with fast runners down the line, they've made those plays and they've just.
Lassiter, a ground out to second, line out to center, fly out to right. 3 out of 4 including the 2-run Edwards homer earlier in the inning. Beth Torino.
Some saves that didn't make it down, and then sometimes softball just kind of evens it out.
Lassiter on the move. They throw through, not far from getting her, but she dives in ahead of the tag. Number 20, LSU on the road in Columbia to face the hot Missouri. Lassiter leads off and sends it on the ground to second base. One away. Smoothly played by Sophie Smith. But a couple of hits up.
So impressive last weekend against Oklahoma. Comes back out, struggles in her first 3 at-bats.
And now LSU has totally opened it up. A lot more lopsided than it really was, but a credit to LSU because when they've been given their opportunities in this inning, they've capitalized.
Not only added at the plate, and they did such a good job. They got Harrison out of the game, and they've been really taking advantage of Touche out there.
7th spot on the board for be a very, very bright start. And a chance for LSU to win a series. An ominous weather weekend in Columbia. Thankfully, it stayed away tonight. Smith. Huebner would need strikeouts against all 3. Four-pitch walk to Hay, which would have been cause for concern for LSU if this game were 2-0 happening, but really wouldn't make a lot of strategic sense here. Abby Carr takes low. Hay to still be in the game. They used a pinch runner for her earlier. So bringing her out again would, of course, burn her for the... Lost the first game in that series in 12 innings. Then turned around and won from Jaden Huebner, perhaps laboring over 100 pitches. Carr rips it down the third base line, a fair ball. Hay holds up at second. Again, the same idea. Missouri's going to need a lot of base runners. No sense in pushing your luck on the bases. Missouri 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Sophie Smith curls it foul. Do much of anything about their spot in the SEC standings for a while because they'll be off next weekend. Smith into center, diving catch. Lassiter on the move. Her throw gets away. Hay moves up to third, Ramsey to second. It does little to diminish the highlight. But she packed them both into one play. And had that line drive gotten by with 7th inning. 0-2 on Updegrove. For Missouri.
This 3rd time through the lineup for Missouri. They've seen her twice. She's up there in her pitch count. She's obviously over 100 pitches right now.
In the 3rd, swinging in the 4th. And she is battling with 2 strikes.
Her pitches that are just out of the zone.
Check swing. She went around. Strikeouts for Huebner. That would keep Mizzou alive into the 7th. Langer chases 1-2. Even with 9 runs on the board, tonight has been about one LSU Tiger above. If I'm reading lips, you're 1 for 2, Blue.
Missouri crowd has let this umpire.
See the way Huebner's had to work harder and harder as the night has gone on. Ball 4. Missouri loads him up for Claire Cahalan. It's Florida. Pitch gets away, but Hay holds it third. Check swing. She went around. Have a point. 3-1. 52 in 1 year. Huebner's payoff. Top of the Missouri lineup, Addie Waits. Of course, the 7th inning. But one more ball from Huebner. Full count to the second straight hitter. Pitch.